someone's going to be plant-based and we are optimizing their protocol as coming from a telehealth patient standpoint, I think the Ayurvedic principles of eating these foods makes everything more digestible. So I think that's the problem too. People think of health, the epitomization of health is that big salad, that big raw green salad. And Ayurvedic teaches us different, right? I mean, a lot of it, you even talk about cold drinks in the book, but lots of soups, stews, like easier to digest. Can you just talk about that and how plant-based is done with this perspective versus what the American vegan may think?
Absolutely. A big part, like when I thought about the intentions of my book and why I even called it Joyful, it was because I wanted to remind people that you do not have to choose between food that is good for you and food that brings you joy. Like it should be both. And so we have this, like you said, this visual of if I want to be healthy, I have to eat a boring old salad, which is just leaves and like nothing that's going to bring me joy. I'm going to have to strip everything back and it has to be basic and it has to be tasteless. And so that was
also hard to digest for some people too, right? I mean, yeah.
Exactly. When you end up eating salads, like that's exactly it, especially with, LA health culture. It's like, no, let's go get a big salad. But actually, you end up ignoring what your body is telling you constantly because you've been told that this is what's healthy for you. And actually, Ayurveda, it does talk about one of the main things is if your digestion is feeling weaker, if your digestion is not at its optimal, having raw foods will actually create toxins in the body because your body will find it difficult to digest. Raw foods are the hardest to digest because they haven't been, when you cook, it's essentially digesting the food a little bit before it enters into your body. And so your body's trying to make it through all this roughage and all the exteriors of all these raw foods to actually get to the nutrients. And by that point, it's run out of all its digestive enzymes. So then your stomach ends up holding all this undigested food, which then ends up fermenting, which then makes you bloated, gassy, makes you feel discomfort in your stomach. And then that undigested food slowly turns into toxins in the body. So a lot of the time you might find, I used to have this, I would eat salads and I would think this is going to make me feel amazing. And I actually feel lethargic and a little bit sick afterwards. And it's because my body's actually not even able to take or assimilate the nutrients from the food I'm eating to fuel my body. So raw foods, definitely the cold water and cold beverages. I think there's a big culture of having drinks with your food. And in Ayurveda, it says that actually, if you're digesting food, let your body digest food. Let us do one thing at a time. So don't dilute your digestive juices by chugging in drinks, constantly. Don't dampen your digestive fire. That's what Ayurveda refers to our digestion as a fire. And so if it's a fire and it needs to it needs to burn, when you start drinking cold water, you are dampening that fire at the peak of when it needs to be digesting.